Hey, What's the 501? I'm highly recommended, would never get offended by your Photoshop list of rappers that you consider winning. Far as I'm concerned, I'm not even worried about your gimmicks. Respect, shout out to the vintage images y'all mimic. In the event that I'm ever aiming at the spies, I got the binoculars. 100% of my dedication genuine, I'm knocking who popping up. And I don't battle with nobody who just started rapping by choppers and rocking up. Flow nasty, nothing in socket, slap your baby mama with it. But talking stuff, I'm tired of all of my favorite rappers that's gossiping about hoe shit. The load I drop got outsiders acting dramatic, I'm packaging goat shit. Don't ever discard that my flow flagrant. Dr. Curtis writes this board, I ain't got no patience. Scale from 1 to 10, overweighting. Your opinions never made me the greatest. I know you hating. Motion picture money, cellular, stemming, communicating. Got you small-minded, weak individuals, big man. Amusement how you bang on every park. You rocking 6 Flags, now who you kidding? Too short for this roller coaster. That ain't fair. Still playing these 1999 like I'm from St. Clair. One of one, so stop to remind me ofs in the week comparing. No contest, that 5 blinking. I'm not used to staring. Mind your fucking business, Karen. I'm a walking piece by a pit bull hyena with that stemming. That bitch off the leash, unorthodox. X marking a spot by any means. I got issues with trusting people who wear Crocs and skinny jeans. I'm mean. Bar for bar, a masterpiece. Just be clever about it. Cop a Glock off quiet pay. Dispute the charges. Never got it. A work in progression. I ain't perfectly wired right. The southern charm in full effect. Curtis Rice. Curtis Rice.
All right. What up? Y'all already know what it is. It's 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 on the West Coast, and y'all already know it is the T.L.Mac Fitness Show with, of course, T.L.Mac and the beautiful Roz over there on the West Coast. And y'all already know we representing the Evening Rush Network. And before we move on, we want to shout out our sponsors. Elevate Yours, Wise Choice Sewer and Drains, Sayings by Butter, Faith No Fear, Envious Creations, One by Rainbow, Indian Ivy Inc., of course, Team Ross.
Yes.
Jazzy's Hair Emporium, and of course, and a very, very, very happy birthday to BQ Mommy Productions. And
birthday.
As y'all already know, I'm gonna let it get started. The champ is here.
What?
The champ is here.
What's happening?
The champ is here.
What's going on, champ? Look, I can't even be called champ no more. So, I'm just gonna be Mac for until whenever.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, good people?
What's up?
With you? How you doing?
Oh man, just running. Just finished up with a client and all. So, you know, it's like it never stops, but it's all good though. What's going on with you guys?
Nothing, just chilling, just making sure everything is up and up.
Oh yeah, everything's on the up and up. Everything's on the up and up.
All right.
Rosie, what's happening? My West Coast rider.
What's good, champ? It's all good. So let's jump into the interview. What does OCB mean? What does that mean?
It's the Olympic Competition of Bodybuilders.
And you are the what?
Huh?
Are you what?
The 2021 Master Physique Pro.
Yes, sir. You know. Congratulations on your greatness. Congratulations.
AKA the champ is here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. And well, you know, you guys are, you know, been around and you know, with the group and all, so you already kind of know that I'm not a man that kind of brags about titles and all. You know what I'm saying? So it does feel good to have achieved that, but it's you know, today makes another day in the office. You know what I mean?
So before we jump in, just to let the viewers know, what are fitness shows?
What are fitness shows?
Yeah.
So I mean, it all depends on. So if you want to talk about the one I just did, it's a combination of a lot of different divisions and all. So you have what I competed in, which was men's physique. Mm-hmm. You have bodybuilder. You have classic physique. That's on the men's side. And on the women's side, you have bikini and you have figure. So those are the categories. And then you know, you can break it down even further than that when you start talking about novice, debut, master. So it kind of breaks down after those, the ones I just named earlier.
So what made you to decide to go into a competition?
To be honest with you, I thought it was about time. I did my first show in 2018, and 2019 I was going to do another one, but it kind of took that time off. And then 2020, COVID came through, just shut everything down, and so I felt like I wanted to see if I still had it, if I still could compete at a high level in 2021. And 12 just started a 12-week prep February 1st. Made up in my mind I was just gonna, do it. And plus the show was at home. So that right there made a big difference as well.
Okay. All right. So how did it feel performing in front of your home crowd? Did you feel any different?
Oh, that was unbelievable. That was unbelievable. Just the love and support, from just my people, right? It was just unbelievable. So it was like, I guess knowing that support was there, it really, helped me subside the nerves and all, because I wasn't nervous at all. It was like knowing that, I had my group out there, and just group, not just in the crowd, but it was group live streaming it and all. So it was a wonderful feeling, and to be at home to do that.
Okay.
That's a beautiful thing right there.
Yeah.
So, yo, Dawn, I need you to do me a favor, Dawn. Dawn is in the background. It's one of my producers. Yo, Dawn, post that picture for me real quick, Dawn. I think it's picture number 2. Is even Dawn on yet?
There we go.
There we go. Now, I need y'all to remove the sponsors for a second. Yo, Coach, here's my only question for you that's of any relevance.
Okay.
How did you feel right here in this picture, in this very moment? How did you feel?
Man, I was extremely happy. Honestly, for anybody that was at the show or saw it on on whatever platform you were watching it on, when I won the overall trophy in that division, man, that was like, just blew me away, because I wasn't expecting that. So I was almost like, man, wow, I can't believe this. This is what I set out to do, and I did it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, all the emotions of knowing the work that went behind making it happen, just everything just came out at that one time, and it was just overwhelming. So really, it was like one of the greatest feelings I've ever had.
That was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful! Congratulations again.
When I seen that you won,
yeah,
I got hyped. And I'm sure I can only imagine how you felt, but I felt so like, I'm like, yo, that's my coach right there. That's my coach. When I first heard, I'm like, I went crazy, like, yeah, he won. And it's like me and you spoke. We spoke earlier in that day, and we spoke the night before. And I was like, there's no doubt in my mind you was going to dominate and win it all. And we spoke about that. So just to see it happen, and like you said, me and you spoke some months prior, and you was like, you was going out with one purpose, and that was to get a pro card.
Yeah. So go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
It was like when you said to me, that's your only purpose right there, is to win a pro card. And I said to you, we're not gonna do that if. I said, well, what's gonna happen after you win that pro card? And you said,
yeah, no doubt.
We'll decide after.
No doubt. And if you remember, and I know that a lot of people heard me say this, and it wasn't being cocky when I was saying this. It was just the fact that I knew my work ethic. But I have been saying that I will not lose by being outworked. And that was something that I really, really felt, and I spoke that right there. I will not lose by being outworked. I just know my work ethic. I just give it 110% every time. And the fact that, I've been lifting and, in weight training for 18 years, and I still go in there as if it's day one. So people that that's close to me and in the group and all always heard me say that I would not lose by being outworked.
And that I think, I can't even say I think, because Roz and I are two of your pupils, and
my people, yeah.
Work ethic that you have instilled in not only us, but in everybody that's part of Team One Rep, one more rep. We all follow that same creed. Like, we will not be outworked. So we all put that work ethic in that you I think you won't allow us to slack. So I definitely appreciate that from you, and I'm sure I'm speaking for everybody that's part of the team. And like I put in that post, we believe in you, so we follow you.
Thank you, brother.
We'll continue to follow, because not only do you listen to all of our issues and what's going on with us, you always devise a plan for whatever's going on.
Well, and I appreciate those kind words. And my thing is this right here. Look, I don't suit up to lose, right? And I when I go in there, it's again, it's not being cocky or arrogant. It's just knowing that when it's time to suit up, it's time to go to work. And even you guys are man, phenomenal, right? And then I mean that in all respect. Like this group of people, man, is just phenomenal, because here's the thing right here. I throw a challenge out there, y'all accept it. And so that right there, and y'all accept it head on. When we started, just recently when we started doing the Stairmaster, it was almost like Stairmaster was one of those pieces of equipment nobody ever touches, right? And when it was like, hey, I knew that was going to be critical to my success, I threw it out there to the group. You guys jumped on it. So again, I can lead it, right? But if you guys are not participating like you are and doing the things that you guys do, it won't work. So I feel good that my leadership is out there, but I throw it back to you guys.
I'm gonna be honest with you, the Stairmaster, I hate it. I hate the devil. I'm not gonna lie. I look at it. I'm like, okay, you say you do the treadmill, but I put a few minutes in on that on the Stairmaster, because we haven't switched up yet. But I'm like, 45 minutes. Like when you told me, you called me, you was like, yo, you're gonna do 45 minutes on the Stairmaster. I'm like, this dude is bugging. Like what you said, Ross. You said the Stairmaster is the devil.
It's the devil. Yeah,
the devil. Like we don't play with this. Like,
yeah.
If you said to me, okay, listen, you gotta lift until you throw up, I'm gonna do that. But if you said to me, you gotta get on the Stairmaster for 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes and then die and pee. All that at the same time. Yeah.
Just die, take a dump on yourself and pee on yourself.
And be done with it. Just say I did it.
The Stairmaster? 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? You'll be surprised.
I am not looking forward to that.
Hey, you know that day is coming though, but you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised what you can do when you lock in though, because honestly, before the show right here, like I rarely ever touch the Stairmaster. I get other forms of cardio in when I do it, but even my coach, right? Because here's the thing people don't know: a coach has to, have a coach when they're in prep mode and all. So, he gave that direction and all, and it was like, okay, I'm trusting the process, just like I asked people to trust my process. Right. And when he said, hey, you know what? We're going to start off with 30 minutes on it. And I hadn't been on that Stairmaster on a consistent basis since 2018. Mm-hmm. And then, we knocked out 30 minutes, and then it was like, hey, it's 45 minutes. Then it was like, hey, we're doing an hour. And so, again, it was pushing the envelope, but it was the hunger inside that made that happen. And it was a lot of mornings getting on that Stairmaster, and it's like, man, But again, knowing where you want to go and you lock in, you'd be surprised what the body would do once the mind locks in.
So let me jump in there. You get it ready. You get your mind right. You got a great example ahead of you. Get your mind right. So let me jump in. So you mentioned that you had a 12-week prep, right? So yes. How do you get started? So tell us about this whole journey. Let us be, visual and tell us what had to go down.
Well, and so I did a 12-week prep, but here's the thing. That's not ideal. Just want to make sure everybody understand that right there. It's not ideal. It all depends on where you are on your fitness journey. Okay. So that's the most important thing. Some people, again, it takes a little bit more time. So starting off with that 12-week journey, it was pretty much, we got to get on a stricter meal plan. I pretty much eat strict all the time anyway. About 98% of the time, I'm eating clean. Well, I have to eat cleaner. And then, I had to start doing everything on a strict time basis as well. So I just started setting alarms on my phone to go off every 3 hours to remind me that I need to eat. So, I have to shift gears, and mentally you just got to go to another place. And so just starting off 12 weeks out, it's just now my exercises are different because you're not just going in there and just lifting now. You're really focusing on body parts now. Before that, I always go in and I would I do a lot of supersetting because I'm like trying to make the most use of my time. Well, starting prep, it's like now you have to focus on a body part. And so if I'm doing back, now I want to hit all aspects of my back versus before I would do back and say triceps, back and biceps. And then the cardio increased on it. My water intake increased. I was drinking a gallon of water a day and I had started drinking 2 gallons a day. So that was starting at 12 weeks, coming on down. And then prep week, which is that's the week that most competitors dread, because that week right there, you got to tighten it up even more. So when I say that is now everything is really, really strategic. Now you're starting to take away certain foods. Depending on the plan that you're on, you're going to start manipulating carbs and you have high-low carb days. You're going to, increase your water even more. You're going to increase your cardio even more.
More than 2 gallons?
Yes, 2+ at that time.
You peed all day, all night.
All day, all night.
My Lord.
We have a question for you, champ.
What you got?
Farrah says, "What are your thoughts of prep with vegan meals?" And you had to do that with me for a minute.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm not vegan, so I don't have any experience there. But I can tell you that I do have vegan friends that compete, and they compete at the same high level. I have friends that don't even compete as vegans, and they have nice, shapes and all. So it can be done. I can tell you that. Again, I haven't experienced a vegan life, but I know people that have, and the results are still there. So I would say you can't go wrong with it.
All right. Okay. So, go ahead, Ross.
Okay. So wait, because you had told me about a rice cake and honey, right?
Yeah.
I was like, no way. So rice cake and honey, and then what else?
Pink salt. That's like the day of prep.
Wow.
That's a day of prep right there, because now you want to. So you get to the point towards the end of the week where you've pulled the carbs out and all, and now your body is screaming for carbs. And also you have to pump them back up pretty much. And that's the piece right there where it's really hard on you because your body needs carbs in order for it to function the way it's supposed to. And so when I say you're doing a manipulation, you're trying to get as dry as you possibly can. And then you're trying to fill back out. So, but you got to do it, and the timing has got to be just right. It's got to be just right, You don't want to get on stage. Yeah, you don't want to get on stage looking flat and over full. So it's got to be just right.
Okay. So was it tough keeping up with the diet and the other routines? Was it hard?
It wasn't tough keeping up with the diet. It was just, it was costly. It's very costly because you're eating, you're eating a lot. And the good thing is I was eating the same thing because I'm a real simplistic person. I don't have to change it up. And so pretty much ground turkey and rice and chicken. So, but it's like going to the store all the time buying food. I mean, because you're running out fast. And when you think about eating 5 to 6 times a day, pretty much the same thing, you got to stockpile it. So, that's the only thing right there. To do that, you really got to be able to invest in money as well.
Right. T, you have a question? Because I keep going.
Nah, I'm listening because I'm intaking information because me and Coach, we talk on the side, but he's actually going through what I'm actually getting ready to go through. So Well, I can't say getting ready because he actually has me in prep right now. So as he's talking about the meals and stuff, it's like I'm going through that because we talk about that, you know, and I'm laughing because the first thing I laughed at is when you talked about the rice cakes. Because when he told me this is a real conversation him and I had, Ross. He said, "Well, your pretty much your dessert is rice cakes," and I'm like, cardboard. So I mean, but I finally got the apple cinnamon joints that you told me about.
Wow.
You can't go wrong with those.
Those right there. With the plain ones, I told you no salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me the same thing.
Yeah,
I was in a panic.
Everything with those. I tried to do brown mustard, the spicy mustard on it. I tried putting sriracha sauce on it. I tried putting peanut butter on it.
On the rice cake?
Yeah, them things is disgusting.
No, the peanut butter, yeah, but the mustard and the hot sauce.
Yeah. I tried everything.
A burger.
Them things is not happening.
Give me a pickle.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with food, and this is what I always tell people: you gotta again take your mind somewhere else when you're doing this, right? And even when not just even competition, but when you're eating clean, you're not eating to satisfy a craving anymore. Mm-hmm. You're eating for fuel for the body. Right. So when you start thinking from that perspective, then you will be able to take it down. Because there's a lot of foods that I'm eating now that I never in a million years would have thought I'll be eating. But like broccoli. Like I didn't eat broccoli as a kid, you know, growing up and all. And if I was to eat it, it would have had to have had a lot of cheese on it, right? Yeah, like we normally see. But that was part of my staple when I started prepping for the last show and all, and it's been a part ever since. Asparagus. I've never eaten asparagus before I started prepping, you know, eating clean and all. But now it's one of my go-to foods because I know the benefits of it. So there's a lot of different stuff now that I eat that, again, I'm not eating for taste anymore. You know, and don't get me wrong when I say that right there. I don't want it to be bland, but I can look past, those barriers now.
So can I ask you this on your clean eating, on your veggies? What would you season yours with?
Oh, so any of my dry seasonings are good. Any Mrs. Dash, lemon pepper, you get some of those dry vegetable seasonings. Right. So, I mean, I'm still going to make sure it has a taste to it. And,
right.
But, I try to stay away from regular table salt, things of that nature. But Mrs. Dash and lemon pepper is like the go-to.
The staple. All right, Farrah has another question, and I could answer it, but I'm going to allow you to answer this. The question is: so, did you cut carbs completely the whole 12 weeks, or did you do just the last week? Also, what's your advice on controlling food cravings?
So, no, I did not cut carbs the whole 12. I just started cutting the carbs towards the end that last week, the last few days of the last week. So, no, I would not advise you to cut carbs, 12 weeks out and all. That's definitely, your body is not going to respond well. And as far as like curbing cravings, first thing you do is try not to let yourself get hungry. And that's the main thing. And the second piece of it is to have healthy options available, readily available. If we start craving something, we're going to pick up the first thing that we see, and we're going to start eating it. It's just the human nature, human side of us. If I wait till I'm hungry, there's nothing in the cupboard but chips and cookies. That's what I'm going to eat. But if I have, some healthy options available, then I'm going to take care of it because the craving is going to come. But you just got to make sure that you're ready for them and have, some good options.
So did you work out 1 time a day, 2 times a day, 3?
So that was the other piece of it. So out of prep, I may sometimes get a double workout in, depending on the work schedule. But doing prep, I pretty much just stay with 1 workout and just kind of bang it out at that time. And if I did do a second one, it would be a focus on abs, or maybe if I didn't get my cardio in, but not too much doubling up on weight training.
Okay. All right.
My question for you, And this is a question, and this is probably just for me only because I don't know if we have anybody on here. I think Farrah spoke to me, and she said she's eventually going to compete as well.
Oh, good.
So Farrah, she's out here in New York. She's a great person. But let me ask you this question: when you was training outside of your prep, you had to start getting your posing routines together. How did you work with your posing coach? And how far out did you start utilizing the posing coach?
Well, I started working with my posing coach actually about 3 weeks before the show, and so I was posing before that, but I actually had a posing coach that for 3 weeks from the show and on. But I would advise anybody to really start looking into that earlier on and just check their credentials as well, making sure that they are that they know what they're doing. Because that's vital to stage presence. What you'll find out is, and T.Mac, you'll see this as well, is that you can have the best body on stage, but if you don't know how to present it, then you're going to lose.
And I've seen that time and time again. I've seen people who have awesome physiques, but their posing is so sloppy, and they're losing points.
And that's where the posing coach comes in at and all. Yeah, you gotta, you definitely. So it's an investment. And that's why they're, that's why they are who they are. They're opposing coach to help you get through that piece right there.
Okay, those are one of the only 2 questions I had.
Okay, so
I'm just hyped because the champ is here.
That's all I've been saying all week. So the whole journey, is there anything that stands out the most to you? Like, was there a time where you're like, I don't know if I can do it? Wait a minute, maybe I'm not ready. Was there anything that could have changed how it went?
Well, the only obstacle, the only real obstacle would have been the traveling, because I still had to work my full-time job and still had to travel. What a lot of people don't know is I went to Alabama the week before the show, and I had to drive 2 days and all, drive halfway to Georgia, then drive the other way to Alabama the next day, So the traveling piece and eating, like tuna out the pack and all, and just really not being able to food prep. That's the hardest piece right there, when you have to improvise and deviate from the plan, because that right there can throw you off. The show I did in 2018, I did that prep in 7 weeks, and
wait, I don't know, you did that prep in 7 weeks?
In 7 weeks. In 7 weeks. And out of those 7 weeks, 3 of those weeks I was on the airplane. I was traveling. And I was away during prep week, as I was this time as well. So it's that right there can really derail you. And I would always say, I'll say to people, if you're going to do it, then hopefully your schedule will allow you to. I have a schedule that I never know what I mean. You had to travel. And so, yeah, I can have a show 8 months out. I can commit to it. But then as it get closer, job duty may call. So I may have to, start looking at maybe doing something a little different there, because it's no fun trying to prep when you're on the go.
Right.
And it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's that. I'm listening to you, and I'm like, I know that had to be difficult, because when we talk about my plan, and it's like I'm sitting back listening to you, and I'm like, if you was you was on a road for prep week, and I say peak week. Imagine how much fuller and more defined you would have been if you would have been home in your own place eating your own food. Imagine just how much more different. We might be talking about something completely even different.
Well, I wouldn't even. I would say that even with those obstacles right there, I felt like I bought the best package that I could, and because I know, I know the best options to grab even on the go. You know what I'm saying? So, I even though that was an obstacle, it's like, okay, that's another barrier. Get it out your way. I think there was a question just came about too.
All right, we'll get back to that question. But for first, anybody looking to have a podcast and looking to work here at the Evening Rush Network, and you don't know how, here's how you do it.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
Shout out our sponsors, of course, Elevate Yours, Wise Choice Sue and Dream, Sings by Butter, Faith No Fear, Envious Creations, One by Rainbow, Indian Ivy Inc., of course, Team Roz, Shazzy's Hair Emporium, and of course, the birthday girl, BK Mommy Production. But the last question we just had, and Farrah asked, did you weigh out your food and count macros during prep?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Mm-hmm.
You would find that food scale will be your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
My advice I would give anyone is do not try to eyeball the right size, the right serving.
Right.
Unless you're an expert at this, it's not going to happen. So that scale was something that even on the go, it was with me. And if I stopped by and had to get something, I'm putting it on the scale and weighing it out to make sure I stay within the program. So definitely you're gonna need a scale and weigh your food and if you want to stay on the right track.
Thanks for sharing that. That just totally changed my whole mindset because I have a scale at home. I never thought about taking one with me. I have everything else in my bag. Might as well throw a scale in there.
The scale is part of your everyday, every movement life.
Yeah.
Unless the only time you don't carry the scale with you is if you're meal prepping and your meal preps are already prepared and already sized out.
Yeah, I mean you wouldn't need it then, but if other than that, I mean, even with that being said, I'm gonna still have mine just in case I run out of food or need to improvise or what have you. So that scale will be your best friend if you're trying to go that route.
If you had somebody right now just come to you and say, "Okay, I'm not sure about competing, but the first thing I want to do is lose body fat," what would be the first thing you tell them to do?
Well, first thing I would say is get an assessment, right? Make sure that you physically are able to take on some physical training and see what your limitations may be.
Mm-hmm.
But after you get to go ahead to go the okay from a physician or whoever, then just start taking it nice and slow, right? Don't worry about trying to do it all in one day because you didn't gain the weight all in one day. You're not going to lose it all in one day. But you got to trust the process. Once you get started, you got to trust the process. And remember, this is not microwavable. A lot of people hear me say that you can't rush that process right there. And you got to be patient. And just know that small progress is better than no progress.
Yeah.
And so I would say don't hurt yourself and overdo it. If you go into a gym, don't think about what the next person look like. Just know what your game plan is and get help when you need it. A lot of the times we don't ask for help. We end up hurting ourselves. Seek advice, do your research, and have a game plan and stick to it. And then when if you give it a try, you don't see the results that you think you should see, then you switch it up a little bit. But a lot of the times we don't give any game plan enough time to see results before we switch it up.
Right.
Definitely, I definitely like that. I agree with that, and I hope our listeners actually took heed to that one right there.
I sure did. I'm excited about that one. I'm ready to tell the world. Buy a scale, take a scale. That's a whole game right there. You don't even know.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
So to your team, all right, because your team is, I can't even put a word to it, but your team loves you to death. What would you say?
I love my team.
What would you say to your team? Because you got a lot of team members right now watching.
Well, I would say keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys are inspiring so many people. I always say this right here. I can touch certain people, but you'll touch people that I would never touch, right? With words of inspiration, with words of motivation, and just the sharing of the videos, the recipes, the ideas, or just quotes. My team is unbelievable, man. You guys are a great group. I get a lot of credit for the team, but I'm not going to take that. I'm going to give it back to you guys, because here's the thing. I can post all day and you guys sit back. How productive would that be, right? But you guys are so engaging, and it's everyone that's engaging, that's touching one another. And so that's what makes the team what it is. And I love my team, man. I love you guys.
We love our coach.
We love our coach. We love the champ.
Sarah said that this is such a great interview that she has a bit more clarity now. Now, you can always call in. You can call in. What's the number, Terrence?
929-441-2417. Again, if anybody wants to call in, got any questions, area code 929-441-2417. Yo, Dawn, show me picture number 1.
Here you go.
Now, Coach, a lot of people don't know, right? And I guess because I've done my research, you're in the center right there, right?
Repeat that. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you, brother. I'm sorry.
In this position right here, in this actual picture right here, you're in the middle. You're in the center, correct?
Yes.
All right. So, Dawn, you can take the picture now. Now, at that point right then and there, now, only people that actually know about bodybuilding know what the center means.
Yeah.
So when they put you, and I'm sure they called your number and they said, move here, what did you say to yourself? I just won this damn thing, didn't you?
Yo, I was like, you know what? I'm in a good position now, right? Because when I was backstage prior to the show, that's all we kept talking about. Get center stage. Center stage. That's all we want. So when they put me in the center, honestly, right then, it was like, yeah. It was like that was confirmation. Because, again, that's all we talked about backstage. And the week before that is you want to be center stage. So, yeah, no doubt. You're right. If you know about bodybuilding, you want to be center stage.
Center stage is that position. Once they told you and you're in the middle,
yeah,
you won. Everybody else.
It's like I just wanted to make sure that, I was feeling that, but I just wanted to make sure there wasn't no technicality in that,
So, Dawn, show me that third picture, Dawn.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
now, Dawn, I need the sponsors to come down for a second. Coach, talk about it.
Yo, man. I mean, honestly, still unbelievable. Still unbelievable. It's actually a dream come true, man, because I set out again 12 weeks. I said, you know what? I wanted to win my pro card. I wanted to win first place. I wanted to show them that, I'm still in the game. Mm-hmm. And for it all to come to light, man, it's just been unbelievable. It was like I had the biggest smile. I honestly, I smile all the time, but I think I was cheesing harder.
I have a picture, but we didn't post that picture. But your picture, like your lips was touching your ears. Your cheeks, like
as it should be, right? As it should be. What?
I'm like, I know what that smile means right there.
Absolutely.
Hey, yes, I mean,
Coach.
I want to drop something for you right now, and I want to ask you a question that a lot of people on here might not know. Right? We have a lot of young people on here that are questioning whether or not they can get fit. How old are you, Coach?
47. 47.
So, with that age, at 47, that means he's closer to 50 than he is to 20.
Okay.
And he beat out 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, early 40-year-olds in this competition at the age of 47. I hate to say it, but there's no excuses.
Right. Amazing job. Amazing job. That dedication really shows.
Thank you, guys. And just so the listeners know that, I didn't get started early on, and I wish I had of. I didn't get started until I was 30 years old. Most people start way earlier than that, but So if somebody's 20 trying to, decide whether they're going to get started or not, I would say go for it. Go for it. Don't wait a day longer. Get in there and start making some health changes and all. And you don't have to end up on a stage. You don't have to, perform at that high level and all. But exercise, the earlier, the better. Mm-hmm. So, if I can echo that even louder, I would say it again: the earlier, the better. Exercise save lives.
Mm-hmm. I met a kid today, and I mean, when I say a kid, 17 years old, and I'm actually going to bring him to the team.
Okay.
I think he has the potential to go to another level. And okay. I showed him some pictures of you, and I said, "This is my coach, and I want you to meet him."
Wow.
So whatever he needs from you, I'll take care of.
Wow.
So I'm gonna talk to him again in the next couple of days. But
that's how you do it.
And I say he's a kid, and his physique is phenomenal.
That's what's up, man.
And when I seen him, everybody's looking at him in the gym, and I'm like, how old are you? And he was like 17, and I was like, you ever thought about competing? You ever thought about taking everything to another level? And he was like, well, I'm not too sure. I said, once you say I'm not too sure, I said, I got somebody that can talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yes, hey, I appreciate that, And again, that makes, man, honestly, it feels good when I know that people talk about being in that positive light right there, because I always wanted my light to shine and always wanted to pass on as much knowledge as I possibly can. And so, I left the gym this afternoon and so I was seeing some of the people that I know for the first time since the show, and just the amount of love that was in the building and all, and so many people saying, "Hey, you inspire me. Maybe I want to try it," and all. Mm-hmm. And that right there is like, wow, that's breathtaking. Knowing that you can touch people without touching them, you know what I'm saying? Just by the things that you're doing. So that part right there is like, I gotta give credit, man, and all the glory to the man upstairs.
God good.
Because he's the one that makes this all possible. And it's like I'm that vessel, and I just ask him to pour it into me, and then I pour it into others. So,
amen. You have a couple of comments on there, Matt.
All right, so you have Farrah saying, "Wow, the fountain of youth." When we told her your age, Dawn, our producer saying, "Hard work, dedication. Super proud of you. Congratulations."
Thank you.
That's our producer right there. Also, the owner of the Evening Rush Network, Mandy.
My brother.
Mandy is one of our favorites,
Mandy.
And she wrote so much knowledge. Thanks so much for all these nuggets of info.
Right, Mandy? I know we're finna use that scale tip. We're gonna be pulling out the scale everywhere we go. It's all now. It's a wrap.
Okay, I have a question. And you're part of one federation, OCB. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, OCB.
Okay, and I'm MPC. What made you choose one or the other? Because there's tons of federations out there, but what made you pick the federation you joined?
Honestly, I didn't know anything about any of them, to be honest with you, in 2018. And, I had a young lady who turned out to be my coach, her and her husband. He ended up being my coach, and that was a 7-week prep. And she asked me, to your point earlier, asking the young brother about doing a show. She asked me, had I ever thought about doing a show? And I'm like, no. She was like, I think you can, because, all the hard work I was putting in the gym. So she was like, well, I think you can do it, and I said, well, I'll try it. So she introduced me to OCB. Again, At this time, I had no idea what OCB meant. I didn't know anything about NPC or IFBB. BB. So I did it off of her guidance and all. And after I did that show, I was like, okay, well, I'll just do OCB again. And, now I'm starting to understand what the other federations are and all. But for me, and I just want to make sure that whatever show I do is a natural show, because at the end of the day, it's like you have some federations and some shows, some organizations that, you don't get tested and all, but I want to keep it clean and all. So, definitely would be in my decision making on which route I go.
Right. So you just made a comment and you said you want to make sure you're natural. A lot of people may not understand what that actually means when you say keep it natural. So do you want to break that down for them?
Well, yeah. So like the organization that I've been competing in is, they have a banned substance list. So they're against. I'm sorry.
It's a heavy list.
Yeah, it's a very, very detailed, heavy list, and so they they have banned substance, and you can't have any of those banned substance have taken any of those banned substance in the last 7 years. And this organization right here, they require you to take a polygraph before you even get on stage. If you win first place, you're going to take a urinalysis test like as soon as you come off stage, and so. They keep it clean. So you're up there with people that's really putting in that hard work. And I'm not knocking what anybody else do. I'm just talking about, in my journey and all. But yeah, they definitely polygraph and urinalysis test soon as you come off stage. So I think to me, that's fair, because if you're natural, somebody else is, doing something different, then there's a disadvantage there.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a different disadvantage. So just want to keep it clean.
So can I ask you this? What does the pro card mean? What does that mean now that you have it?
Well, I mean, honestly, it means that you're one of the elites. It means that, you passed the amateur stage in that organization, and now you have to perform on the pro level in that organization. Now, the pro card here in this organization doesn't mean anything in a different organization, right? Because you still got to run that ladder. Okay. But in this organization right here, then like as long as I maintain my my eligibility and all, then I can I have to perform on the pro level. Okay. So again, you can't perform on any amateur contest anymore.
Right, you're a professional now. That's how we're gonna do it.
Ray said, nothing we do is our own accord. However, your journey is much deserved.
Yes.
And then Mandy said, I think we need you on again. I wanted to call in, but babysitting grandbabies is in the house full. I want to pick your brain. So
go ahead.
Of course we're gonna have the champ on, as often as he wants to come on. And yes, he's a certified pro.
Certified pro. There we go. Yes, sir.
So, as often as he wants to come on, he can come on. He can call me the morning of the show and be like, "Yo, Matt, I don't know what you got going on, but I'm coming on the show tonight." And whoever's going to be on the show, I'm sorry, but
wow. Well, I'll say, man, I do appreciate that right there. I appreciate the love, and I hope that something that I said touches someone in a positive manner, and I hope something kind of resonate at some point in time, and something that someone can use on their journey and all. I'll say that, whatever you decide to do in fitness, just go for it. Mm-hmm. And again, just give it a chance to work. And, you don't have to, follow the bandwagon, create your own trail. Where there is no path, create one. That will be my motto. I mean, my message to anybody. And don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. Right. And I started off weightlifting. I could barely lift 95 pounds on a bench press. Mm-hmm. And I used to see the guys over there snickering, laughing, and just making fun of where I was. I could have let that thing do one or two things. I could have let it derail my path,
right,
or let it do what it did. It fueled something within me because I knew who I was, right? Mm-hmm. And so that right there that lit a fire under me. Mm-hmm. And those same guys now, half of them are not in shape anymore. Mm-hmm. Some that's still in there asking me for advice now.
Right. Mm-hmm. How did you do it? Yeah.
How did you do it? Yeah. And so that's why my message would be to anybody. And I always tell people that I train, don't worry about who else is in the gym. It's just you and I. Yep. Block out everything else. Because I remember starting off 18 years ago, watching what everybody else was doing because I wanted to lift like them, mm-hmm. And got teased and laughed at and all. So That's why, again, I tell my people, we're not worried about who else is in here. It's just you and I. Let's focus on that, because I don't want them to go through the same things. Everybody's not able to overcome those type of, the ridicule and all.
Good evening, Meredith. One more.
Right.
We got more team members on.
Yes, ma'am. So,
hey, Meredith.
If someone was just listening to your show now, your interview, and decided, hey, I want to try this. This might be something I want to further. What would be their first step?
So you talking about just as far as fitness, or you talking about
if they wanted to start competing? Like, what would they do?
Well, I would say that find you a good coach. That's gonna be key. Because here's the thing: even myself as a trainer, as a coach, I still needed somebody to oversee my process.
Right.
Because I'm going to look at it from a bias standpoint, right? So find you a good coach.
Good coach.
Thank you, sir.
Good
find you a good coach.
Right.
Have you a good support system, because you're going to go a different path. You're going to be somebody else mentally at times. It's not easy. You're going to have to take yourself to a different place. And so after you do that right there, then be ready to spend a little money too, because it's an investment.
Right.
That's the piece that a lot of people don't realize either. It costs to do this right here. It's like any sport, any hobby.
Right.
There's a cost associated with it. And last but not least, if you have a coach, you trust them, then follow their plan, follow the blueprint. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I'm just putting it out there because I was saying, what would they do? Because I was giving you your plug. They have a good coach, you the coach, and you have a good support team. So that was all you. You got
the coach, and you got a team. But the funny thing is, I like how you touched on it, because you also have a coach. And a lot of people, most people know that I'm a trainer as well. And people used to ask me questions like, well, why do you have a coach? And I'm like, I can't push me how I could have somebody else on the outside push me. I want to groom something, and I can look in the mirror and say, okay, I could see one thing. But when you have other eyes, that's a trained eye looking at you, and it can tell you, okay, well, we got to tweak this, we got to tweak this, we got to eat this, we got to eat that. We can't have this, we can't have that. Then you're no longer focused on what you have to do. Now you're listening to your coach saying, okay, I have to take myself out of this place and put myself in this place. So definitely, because at the end of the day, again, you need somebody else to oversee that process and all. And it's definitely worthy of having one, and having somebody that knows what they're talking about too, right? And you know right off the bat whether they know what they're doing or not. And if you have to back up and punt, you do what you have to do. But you definitely, and even that coach has a coach when they're competing. Right. So it's always somebody overseeing that process for the individual. So that's key to the whole piece there.
So my last question, the question that the people want to know, Coach. Now what? What we doing? Now what?
Where we going? What's next?
Well, I'm actually back in the lab now, back focused. The reset button has been fully engaged.
Yes,
so right now is just back in there training hard. One thing I learned, because what a lot of people don't know is I'm a martial artist as well. And I learned earlier on, once I won a tournament on a Saturday, on a Monday, coach was like, he's not talking about that anymore. Let's go start looking towards the next one. So it's like it's a celebration, but it's short lived, right? So now it's time to start focusing on what's next. I'm gonna keep doing my research and all, but I'm actually looking at doing a show actually in October. Earlier I said December when I was looking at one back in my home area, but they have a natural pro show in Pittsburgh in October that I'm eyeing right now. So that's about 4 or 5 months out. So I put it in the air. You guys are the first to hear that right there. So
there we go.
You know what though? So I'm going to ask this question now.
Okay.
Around about what time in October?
Actually, it's 5 days before my birthday, October 24th.
Okay, so here's my question. That puts me 3 weeks out.
Exactly.
Am I allowed to come?
Oh, no doubt. You're right there.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is right up the road.
Yeah, you're right there. So, again, I haven't confirmed that yet, but that's what I'm actually looking at. And actually, that'd be, again, 5 days before my 48th birthday. So
let's go big.
That'd be an amazing birthday gift where we sit back and be like, first pro show and a birthday gift, and we take it home.
So before we have to let you go, because I know that you were driving and just hopped in just to give us your presence, and we appreciate you as well as your time. If someone wanted to contact you that they are now interested, how do they get a hold of you?
Hey, you can follow me on Instagram and contact me there if you want to do something virtual. One More Rep LLC. That's one word. One More Rep LLC.
Okay.
On Instagram and on Facebook is One More Space Rep, and you can contact me there as well. And again, so I do virtual programs with weight training and weight loss, fitness, you name it. We kind of do a little bit of everything. So
all right.
If you want to get in contact, just give me a holler.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to say this right now, and I'm sure Roz will vouch for me. We go hard for our coach.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Except, wait, hold on, Roz, you can have my back on this one too. Except for when he talked that crazy nonsense about 45 minutes on the Stairmaster.
45 minutes though. I'm not limiting my expectation. I'm gonna get there. So you
gonna do 45 minutes?
I'll get there. How about that? I'm on a whole new level right now. I'm ready to
get Roz. Hey, T.Mac on another level. He on something else. He know he got to do it right, so he might as well get his mind right for it.
So I'm not even gonna put myself and say no because I
mean, the fun thing is I actually got my mind right for it. I'm just waiting for you to say, let's go.
Yeah, we'll pull the trigger. So
when you say pull the trigger, it's like, as long as my headphones is fully charged.
Yeah. 40 minutes. 45 minutes on level 2. Absolutely. I'm with it. You hear this nonsense? It's a wrap, son.
I'm gonna give you a secret on how I'm able to stay on there as long as I do. So I always I try to find me a good sermon. Right, I try to find me a good sermon, and I'm following his pastor. I'm gonna give him some props today, right? I'm following his pastor, brother, Darius Daniels.
Yeah,
and I listen to his motivational speeches. I listen to his sermons, and most of the time they're like 45 minutes long. Mm-hmm. So it's just enough time for me to get my time in on the treadmill. I mean, on the Stairmaster. So that's really what gets me through it because it takes me somewhere else. I'm listening to spiritual message while I'm engaged in the physical activity. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm able to get through it. So that's another little nugget.
I think we kind of timed out for a second there.
Something happened.
Yeah.
I
don't know what happened.
His face wasn't frozen ugly.
But Darius Daniels is who you listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna definitely plug that in.
All right.
I don't think you'd be disappointed, brother.
Okay. Well, again, we appreciate you. Appreciate your time. The champ is here.
The champ is
here. Greatness. So we appreciate you.
Listen, and
thank you guys. Listen, I
definitely want to say congratulations, and I appreciate everything you do for not only me but for the entire team. You know, you said if we put our mind to it, we can do it, and a lot of us, and I'm not gonna say myself, but there's a lot of people who kind of doubted themselves, but watching you do what you did, I'm sure it opened that door of inspiration.
Wow.
So keep doing what you're doing, and never stop, never give up, because you have loyal followers, and we believe in you. That's why we joined the team.
Yep, absolutely.
Guys, I totally appreciate that. Let me thank you guys for just the invite and all, and again, I hope something that I said will inspire or motivate somebody to make that first step. If you didn't know how to do it, hopefully someone said to make that happen. Look, I got to give a shout out to my team again, man. You guys are something special, a great group of people. And I want to, if any other teammates is maybe listening to this right now, keep doing what you're doing. You're touching people just as I am. And
you go, Margie. We got another team.
Hey, Margie. How you doing, Margie?
For you today.
But it takes a team effort. And I always believe in we win as a team or we lose as a team, right? And losing is not an option. And as long as
what's losing?
Exactly.
I don't know that.
Exactly. So we just all continue to do what we're doing and just keep on changing lives. That's what it's all about. Changing lives for the better. Again, I appreciate you guys as well.
Ross, I'm going to tell you something, right? I'm going to big coach up. Remember, we just talked about NPC, right? And we talked about the different federations allowing certain things. And when I told him the category I'm going under, and he said to me, there's going to be people that's going to be juiced up there. And I hit him. I said, at the end of the day, you my coach. And he goes, yeah, we going in at the winning.
That's it. 1,000%. No other way.
They could be juiced all they want, but
you got
one more rep. That team will be represented on that stage November 6th.
All right.
Let's go get it. Let's go get it, champ.
All right. Thank you again. You have to shout out the sponsors, T?
Yeah, let me shout out our sponsors before we go. Elevate Yours, Wise Choice Sewer and Drains, Sayings by Butter, Faith No Fear, Envious Creations. You know what? I think I want a brownie. I'm going to call Envy ASAP. I can't have one though. One by
no,
one.
I'm listening, right?
Right. I was thinking, like, did you just say that?
Indian Ivy Inc. Of course, Team Roz, Shazzy Hair Emporium, BQ Mommy Productions, and of course, we got to say definitely happy birthday to BQ.
Happy birthday.
She's the big 4-0, so definitely want to shout out her. I want to shout out the entire One More Rep family. I'm not even gonna call them a team no more. Shout out the entire One More Rep family, and y'all already know what it is. It's the Evening Rush Network. Look at the picture right there. It's the T.L.Mac Fitness Show, and of course, we live each and every Thursday Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Evening Rush Network. Of course, it's me, T.L.Mac. Of course, it's the beautiful Roz, and we always are representing our amazing, just super dope coach.
Yes, sir.
AKA
Thank you guys.
AKA
legs over here.
Really know what it is. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Take care, guys.
Thank you. Good night.